All right, welcome to today's lesson. So this is just an introductory class, and I believe everyone here has come for serious business. Yeah, so my name is Hamted, and I'm sure most of you know me. Yeah, this might be the first time for some people to hear about the name. Some of them maybe I've heard it before, though most of you have never seen me. But I'm also a student at Mulungushi University. I'm in my final year. I'm a fifth year student there doing mechanical engineering. All right, so this is just an introductory class, as I said. Okay, so let's quickly begin. So in this class, I think there are only two things that we're going to focus on. We just look at the timetable, and then apart from the timetable, we'll look at the timetable, meaning we'll have to discuss the days and the time you guys are going to be meeting with me. I'll be taking you in mathematics, and then there's also physics and chemistry. Yeah, so as you can see, I do not only teach Mulungushi University students, I teach different universities. I have UNZA students. This is a timetable for UNZA. I have Zambia Open University. I also have Apex students. I have different students from different universities. Yeah, some of them are in South Africa. There's a university in South Africa I'm teaching. Yeah, so you're not the only students that I'm going to be teaching, and this calls for seriousness. When I give you an exercise to say you should do this, or when I give you an assignment, make sure that you do it on time, because I have a lot of things to do. That's the reason why, if you checked during the course of the semester, I wasn't conducting any lessons. Why? Because I had a lot of things to do. I usually conduct lessons during the semesters and during the holidays. And trust me, you can try to ask around. From your seniors, those that have done tuitions with me. When I'm teaching, I always make sure that people understand. And from the exercises and the tests which I give as we are learning during the same lessons, at least I'm able to tell your performance. And if I see your weakness, I always make sure that I focus on your weakness as an individual. That's the way I am. And I'll make sure that at least before we finish, before we open before we open the university, at least we should cover. I will not promise that we're going to finish the syllabus. If I tell you that, then I'm lying to you. If I tell you that we're going to finish the whole syllabus in 2 months, then I'm lying to you. And what that means is that I'm just going to be cruising for nothing. Yeah, it means that I'm just going to be cruising for nothing. You not even understand. You not even be getting the concepts. And that's one thing which I don't want to do. Because what's very important is you understanding the foundation, you knowing the basics, because the basics are the ones that will help you to solve complicated questions, more especially in physics and mathematics. So there are topics like calculus. For calculus, you can't solve a complicated question if you don't know the basics. Because semester two, it's just going to be like calculus throughout, though you're going to have vectors, matrices, and conic sections, which is analytical geometry. So you're going to have these 3 other topics, but the main topic for semester 2 is calculus, and it's the longest topic. But one thing you have to understand is that without you understanding trigonometry, without you understanding some of these other topics that I've mentioned, calculus is going to be a very difficult topic for you. So for me, what I do, me personally, what I do to ensure that calculus does not give you problems, before I begin to teach calculus, I always find a week where we begin to revise, more especially trig and calculus, they work together. Yeah, they was this, you can't answer most, let me say trig covers like maybe a quarter of calculus, so meaning most of the questions that you'll be facing in mathematics, rather in calculus, are going to involve trigonometry. And what that means is that you have to, what that means is that you have to do as this, you have to understand trigonometry, and then what that means is that you have to understand trig, and then after understanding trig, that's when, sorry, I was just trying to cut a call. I received a call. Yeah, so what that means is that you have to understand trigonometry before you start doing calculus. And for me personally, what I do is that I'll find a week in which we're going to cover trig. I'm going to teach it from the basics up to where you're supposed to end. In short, whatever that you're supposed to cover last semester is what I'm going to cover in that week before we begin covering calculus questions, or rather the topic calculus. Yeah, so about the timetable, like I said, I'm a very busy person, and I do not only teach Mulungushi University students, I have a lot of students from other universities that I'm teaching. So when I call for work, or when I say this time, let's say if we put to say on Monday we'll be meeting at 20 hours, let's make sure that we meet 20 hours, let everyone be online. In case you miss a class for any reasons, there's always a video of whatever that we're going to be doing. I always record, then after recording, immediately after a class, I'll post the lesson back in the WhatsApp in the group. Yeah, so in case you miss a class, you always have videos for revision. Even when you open, you still still have those links. You still be revising through the WhatsApp. You still be revising through using the WhatsApp, the links. Okay. Then the other thing I wanted to talk about is the payments. For the payments, I think for the payments, I'm sure you guys know, if maybe you've tried to consult around about how much I charge for the tuitions, it's just 100 kwacha. And I'm shocked this time around, I've seen a lot of people offering tuitions at Mulungushi University. I've seen a lot of students, a lot of them, they've started coming up with what's institutions. Trust me, those that are doing it for the first time. I started this in 2020. You can ask those guys who are here, who are at Mulungushi University from 2019. Those that were there in 2019, I was just helping them for free. Then I started charging in 2020. Yeah, so I can ask those that were at Mulungushi University from 2019 up to 2021. They will explain to you, and those are the best people you can ask if at all what I teach or what I offer is ideal for someone to pass or clear. And one thing I'll tell you is that most of the people that carry mathematics at Mulungushi University, they take these same holiday tuitions serious, and when they open through the same information that I give them during the holiday, at least they are able to clear their courses, which is, I think, it's very helpful. So for you guys who have not even carried anything, you are just going to face those questions, or you're just going to face these courses, math, physics, and chemistry for the first time, semester 2. At least it's going to help you in such a way that you not meet those questions, or you not meet those topics for the first time. At least before you meet them, you would have covered them during the holiday. Yeah, so I'm not going to lie to you that we'll finish the syllabuses, no. But I'll tell you the truth to say we'll cover at least 3/4. And then from what we're going to cover, in what we're going to be covering, the tutorial sheets that you have or the tutorial sheets that you're going to be given, if they will not change, are the ones that I'm going to be using as examples when I'm teaching. So all the tutorial questions, I'll make sure that we cover all the tutorial questions as we are going to be learning. So most of the questions in your tutorial sheets are the ones that I'm going to be using as examples. And sometimes we'll also be having tutorial sessions. Yeah, so we're not only going to be having classes alone, no. Sometimes we'll just be meeting for tutorial sessions where I'm just going to be solving tutorial questions alone. That's all. Yeah, so that is exactly what we are going to be doing. Like I said, the payments are only 100 kwacha per course. That's how much I charge. So in case you just want mathematics, you can only pay 100 kwacha. If you want 3 courses, but you can't manage to pay everything in full, you can still contact me. You tell me the days when you can manage to fulfill, to pay. You tell me to say, okay, I can only manage on per month end, and these are the reasons. Just give me the reasons and I'll write you down to say, okay, this person has only paid this much. And then at per month end, he or she is going to finish. Yeah, so I am flexible with payments. What I just want is to offer something that is going to help you. And after helping you, you also offer me something that will perhaps help me in one or the other. Yeah, and then the more reason why I charge the tuitions. Like I told you, in 2019, I was offering all these lessons for free. But what used to happen was, because somebody didn't pay anything, when I give them exercises to say, okay, you people do this exercise, or if I give them an assignment, they were not putting in that effort because they have not paid for it. They don't have that pain inside to say, okay, what I'm doing, I've paid for what I'm doing. So me charging is not only me getting the money from you, no, but it's also helping you to do assist, to be committed. Yeah, so it's also one way of helping you to be committed. Okay, take for instance, if you ask money from dad or mom to say, mom, I want to start tuitions. Mom will always be interested in seeing you. If you tell her to say every day 21 hours, I'm going to be busy, I'll be learning, she's always going to be making sure that every day 21 hours, you should be online and you are attending such a class. And that will also help you to concentrate and to participate. If I give you an exercise or a test, and then the other thing you have to understand is that every time I give a test, I always reward the highest. The one who gets the highest mark, I give them something. Sometimes a 200, even a 500 kwacha sometimes. Yeah, it depends with the money that I have. I'll reward you if you get the highest mark. That's the way it is. All right, so let's quickly look at the timetable. I think what I'll do is I'll make the timetable and then I'll send it to the group immediately. Yeah, I'll make the timetable and I'll quickly forward it to the group immediately. I'm done. Yeah, so let me just compare it with these other timetables from Zambia Open University and UNZA, and also other guys that I'm teaching from South Africa. So let me just compare the timetable so that I don't have courses crashing. Yeah, so I'm going to send you the timetable as soon as I finish writing it down. All right, so I don't know if you guys have questions before I can close the meeting. Do you have questions? If you have a question, just unmute yourself and speak. So if you have a question, unmute yourself and then ask. Then the other thing I forgot to tell you is I have the syllabuses for all the courses for semester 2. So immediately we begin to learn, I'll send you the syllabuses and I have all the materials, including biology. I have all the materials for semester 2, starting from BMG, biology, chemistry, physics, and mathematics. I have all the 5 courses. There are syllabuses and the course I have the course outlines and the materials themselves. So when we begin to learn, I'll be giving you all the all the materials. All right, so there's a question here from Natasha. She's saying, when are we likely to start learning? All right, so that for me, even now, just after this, if you tell me that we can start, I don't have any problems with that. More especially in mathematics, I can start teaching I can teach a topic without using any book. That's the way it is. Just for me, it's just a gift from God, I guess. Yeah, so it's just a gift. So I can teach anytime, even now. But for the sake of being organized, I'll say we start learning after Christmas. Yeah, so I'll not tell you that we start learning today. Let's start learning after Christmas. So when is the 25th? Let me just check. So 25th will be on Sunday. So on Monday, okay, let's not start on Monday because Christmas. So, okay, so on Tuesday we'll start. So I'll send the timetable, whatever is going to be on Tuesday is what we're going to start with. So on Tuesday, we're going to start learning on the 27th. So on Tuesday, we're going to start learning. Yeah, so I'll send the timetable immediately after this lesson. So start learning on Tuesday. You can mark that. So this will also give chance for you people who maybe need some time to make the payments. So once you make the payment, I'll send the numbers in the group where you have, which you have to use to make the payments. So once you send the payments, please ensure that you send me the screenshot of the you forward the screenshot to my inbox of the proof of payment, and then I'll write your name down, even the day you have paid. So that implies that is actually going to be the day when you are always going to be paying every month. But of course, the holidays just 2 months. Yeah, so meaning you're just going to pay 2 times, unless you decide that if we open, you still want me to continue teaching you guys, and that will be dependent on how I'm going to teach you. Yeah, so that will depend on how I'm going to teach you, and I think that will determine whether you continue or not. So when you make the payment, make sure that you send me the proof of payment, which is the screenshot. When you send the screenshot of the proof of payment of 100 kwacha, if you're taking one course with me, I'll write your name down, and that's the day you should mark to say, okay, every month, this is how much I'm going to be sending to him. Yeah, so that's the only day I'll be calling you. Me, I don't force. If you don't pay, I don't force. I'll leave you. Maybe, yeah, okay, I don't force. I just change the group. That's who I am. So once you make the payment, I'll write your name down and I'll add you to the new group. That's how it's going to be. So I'm going to create a new group where everyone who has paid is going to be added. And for those that perhaps maybe do not have money or not have money before the 27th, like we said, we're going to start learning on the 27th. So for those that do not manage to have the money before that time, please ensure that you communicate to me in advance. Tell me the date when you are going to manage to make the payments, and then I'll write you down. I'll come and call you only on that day. Yeah, but I'll add you to the group for the start. But if you have the money, please ensure that you make the payments, because Zoom consumes data. You know how Airtel is behaving when it comes to data bundles. So it requires like 100 kwacha per day, or something like a 50 kwacha per day. Yeah. So I'll need your monies to help me buy bundles. And it's not only Zoom. I also need to upload the videos on YouTube. Of course, the videos will not be visible to everyone. They'll only be visible to those that are going to be in the group that I'm going to create. And the first few classes, maybe 2, if not 3 classes are going to be free. Even those that have not paid are going to attend the classes. And the reason is there are some people who find it difficult to believe if I say this is how I deliver information when I'm teaching, if they have not seen. So they will first have to at least see how I how I deliver information or how I teach. If they see and they are satisfied with my teaching, that's when they decide to make the payments. That's not a problem with me. You can first wait, attend the first, second, third class, and then you can now do assist. And then you can decide whether to make the payments or not. And then the other thing is that although there are a lot of students in the group, I don't exceed 20 students when I'm doing my tuitions. And the reason is simple. I don't want congestion. I don't want congestion. I don't want to have people that will join the groups for the sake of just observing. Some of them would even want to be posting wrong things in the group. No. So I just want 20 serious students, those that are willing to learn with me. Yeah, so mostly I just get 20. If I exceed 20, then it's 25. That's how I work. Yeah, so I only need 20 serious students that are willing and are able to make payments. No, please, you have to pay. Where are you, Shan? No, I don't do those things. No, I'll just leave you. I know one day maybe you'd want my help, or you go to someone and they will direct you back to come to me. I don't only do tuitions, I do a lot of things on campus, and not only on campus, but across, let me say, in different universities. So perhaps you might want something again from me. If you disappoint me once, you disappoint me forever. That's how I work. So let's just cooperate and be serious when it means work. So when I go for work, when I say this time we're meeting, at least attend. If you don't attend, at least you send me a text, tell me the reason why you're not attending. I'll find means and ways in case there's a quiz, in case there's a test, in case there's any assignment that I had given or that I give during the class or during the lessons. I'll also maybe find time to do assist. If you've given me a valid reason why you missed the class, at least I'll find time, if not to teach you alone, at least I'll just find ways in which I'm going to compensate you with what you have missed. Yeah, so I think I've talked a lot. If you people have questions in the remaining 8 minutes, I think you can ask. So there's another question here which says, how much per course have just joined the meeting? So Ronald, per course, it's 100 kwacha. It says 100 kwacha per course, and that's, yeah, it's 100 kwacha per course, and it's a monthly payment. Okay, so do we have another question? You can either type your question or you simply just unmute yourself and speak. Okay, do we have other questions? And then the other thing is that if I'm teaching and you feel you have not understood, you have not gotten the point as I'm writing, I have a board which I use. I'm sure you guys have watched my videos before. So if I'm teaching and then you feel there's a point that you have not understood, please tell me right there to say, okay, there, please explain. I've not gotten anything at that point, explain. Go back to this page, explain. If you tell me that, I even feel good because I know to say, okay, this person is following, and I'll go back, I'll make sure that I explain until you understand. That's the way. If it means taking 3 hours just learning, I'll do that just to make sure that those that have not understood, they understand. But mostly I just take an hour for every session, and we meet for each course 2 times a week. And then we'll always be meeting for 1 course per day. And the reason why I say 1 course per day is because I don't want you to confuse, to mix up things. Okay, let me just say, sometimes it becomes difficult for some people to combine concepts. So if we're doing, let's say, if we're doing mathematics today, it should be mathematics. Mathematics should be the song of the day. if I'm giving you an exercise, it should just be mathematics. That's the way I work. So there's another question. Since sir, you said you need only 20 serious students, serious people. What if the number of those who are willing exceeds 20? How can you help? I'll create 2 groups and I'll make sure that the times are different. What I don't just like is when I'm teaching, I have a lot of maybe my background noise. Apart from that, sometimes you discover some people just begin to write on the screen. So, okay, you know what I mean. If there are a lot of people who have joined and you not be able to tell who is doing that because you have a lot of people, and it will just be consuming your time because you start looking for the person. You start saying, okay, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. What I just don't want is when I give, let's say, for instance, a test or a quiz or anything, I have, okay, there's just a way pressure comes in if you are dealing with a lot of people at once. Yeah, because way back, I just used to take 10 students for every session. So like if I'm teaching, let's say today, I'll only allow 20 students to join. I'll only allow 20 students to join my meeting. If they exceed 20, then it's 25. And the reason is simple. I don't like disturbances when I'm teaching. The only disturbance the only thing that should disturb me should be a question from you, not me hearing babies crying in the background, me hearing people shouting somewhere, me seeing people writing on the screen without knowing who is even doing it. Those things I don't like them. So that's one of the reasons why I get 20. So if the number exceeds 20, if I see that it has begun to reach 30, 31, somewhere there, I always make sure that I divide the group into 2 so that at least everyone is able to understand and everyone is free to ask a question when they are stuck. All right, so do you have another question? So if you have a question, you can just unmute yourself or you can type it. All right, so if you people do not have questions, if you people do not have questions, then I think we can call it a day. So like I said, I'm going to send the recorded session to the group. Then apart from that, I'll also make sure that I send the timetable immediately I'm done writing it down. All right, thank you very much. See you in our first session next week on Tuesday. Shalom, shalom. Sure. So, so, yeah,